Hey, first and foremost, I want to give all the honors, the praises, the glory belongs to my Lord and Savior, whose name is Yahweh. Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Waharaka, Kwadash. Honors to the apostles that are in the Holy Spirit and to the hopeful elect across the globe. And to the few, I mean a very few brothers and sisters that are listening and also learning in hopes of being saved within these last days, because we're living in the last days of the last days. Brothers, this is heavy. You know, a lot of times when you may be teaching, you may be doing what you're doing, you may not think much of it. Let me tell you something. This is powerful. Brothers, this is powerful. This is powerful, brothers. And you come to the realization you were born. Let's read this out. You were born into something that you may not have realized. All of us. I'm going to tell you what you were born into. 2 Corinthians 4. And check this out, Baba Kashar. But even if our gospel be hid, right? Check this out. It is hid to them that are lost. Let's read this again. But even if our gospel is veiled, covered, it is veiled to those who are perishing, whose minds the God of this age has blinded, who do not believe, lest the light of the gospel of the glory of Mashiach, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. So it says, whose minds the God of this age have blinded. Who's the God of this age? Who's the God of this age? Who's the God of this world? Satan. So if he's the God of this world, that means you were born. When you were born, what was you born into? Whose kingdom was you born into? Satan. You were born into Satanism. That's one of the biggest secrets that you don't realize. You were born into Satanism. That's why it's a very thin. This truth is a very thin line between being in the truth and being out of the truth. Being in Yahawashi and being out separate from him. 90% of this world is Satanist. The 10% are the elect, or should I say the 144,000? Now you know the truth. Now you know the truth. And just know when you're teaching, things are being moved. You're moving systems. You're moving mountains. Yahawashi said, if you shall have a faith as the grain of the seed of mustard seed, you shall say to this mountain, move, and it shall be moved. The mountain represents governments, by the way. It shall be moved. We're moving stuff for the spirit and power of Yahawashi. We're moving stuff. When I got here, right, I heard some screams. I heard screams. And I heard a woman manifesting, some woman. I didn't get to see her, but she was manifesting. Well, I don't know what she said. I think she said get gone. I think but she done it this way. She said get gone. That's what I heard her say. Get gone. Bro, possession is at an all-time high. Then I heard, I don't know if it was a child or a woman. It sounded like a woman screaming, screaming. Bro, this is some weird stuff. You're gonna see manifestations. What does that mean? What does that mean for us? That means we're casting out. You're casting out spirits. And it's not always one-on-one going to someone saying, come out of her, come out of him. This happens naturally. That's God given authority. That's God given authority. Just if you turn up somewhere and you start to hear screams, and shouting, right? I've heard it before, bro. The woman was screaming, she was going, that's what she was. That's what she, That's what she was. That was, bro. That's what I heard, bro. Bro, brothers are moving things in the spirit. That's the level of authority. It's overwhelming. That's authority there. That's why you have to stand in there and trust in the Lord. When you actually believe what these words say, that's where the authority is given. There's no authority without obedience and faith and suffering. You're also given authority for the level of suffering you go through as well. That's why certain brothers have authority. You're not just given it. You're given it because you could be trusted with it. The Lord doesn't give anyone authority. He gives those authority, his men authority that he can trust with that authority. Should have heard the screaming. This was a this was it sounded like a grown woman, basically. There's so much power in this book right here. You see why the leaders of society they don't like this book, even though they may say they do. Should have heard the screaming, bro. Right? These people want to control brothers out here. They want to control that power. Yeah, give us some of that. Give us a bit of that. Okay. Okay. You got this man with his camcorder as well. And he say he looks like a director, some type of director. Okay. See what else we got. Anyway, let's get back to this. Who do not believe, lest the light of the gospel of the glory of Mashiach, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. So a lot of people don't believe. If they did believe, the glory of the Lord would shine upon them. But it's not. So if it's not shining upon them, then that means they're gonna still be in darkness and they're gonna hide in that darkness as well. Okay. And did you just hear that? Done. Possession is at an all-time high. People are hiding behind spirits because everything is spiritual. The seed of the righteous is here and the seed of the wicked are here. Excuse me just a minute. Need to drink some water. Bear me just a minute. Baba Kishore, I want to take our time with this one. Okay. Some real interesting things are going on. When you step out there, you're gonna. This is why it's good to step out on faith because you're able to see more. The Lord's Yahawashi is going to show you more. Shit. This society is all about initiation. Initiation, man. Okay. Hold on just a minute. Satan wants full participation. That's what he wants. That's why we got to step into our power of the Lord. Now let's check this out. Now we want to go to, because that was one ahead of a manifestation. And these were grown women. These were grown women. They were already here before I was here. And you know, this is their hub. Like, this is their hub of witchcraft is the woods, right? This is where they get their little source of energy from. And children as well. I've told you that already. They get their energy source from children. That's why when it comes to Satan, the highest form of Satanism is children because they have high amounts of the birds are singing out. They have high amounts of energy. That's why they use children because they have high levels of energy, and that's why they try to scare them. Because when they scare them, they get a kick out of that as well. Right? Welcome to the kingdom of darkness, but guess what? We have the light. We represent the kingdom of light now. Okay, and it says Matthew 10, and check this out, and jump straight to 10. And when he had called his 12 disciples, he gave them power over unclean spirits to cast them out. So he's given the same thing to you. and heal all kinds of sickness and all kinds of disease. Now, all names of the 12 apostles, these were first Simon, who was called Peter, Andrew, his brother, James, son of Zebedee, John, his brother, Philip, Bartholomew, Thomas, Matthew, the tax collector, James, the son of Alphaeus, Lebbaeus, whose surname was Thaddeus, Simon the Canaanite, Judas Iscariot, who also betrayed him. So they were given that through Yahawashi. Okay? These 12 Yahawashi sent out and commanded them, saying, do not go into the way of the Gentiles, and do not enter into a city of Samaritans, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Go directly to them. And as you go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out demons. Freely you have received, freely give. Provide neither gold nor silver nor copper in your money belts, nor bag for your journey, nor 2 tunics, nor sandals, nor staff, for a worker is worthy of his food, because you'll be provided for. So it says, cast out demons. So when I heard that screaming, right, the first thing was a woman, right? Right? And I heard the manifestation, because how would you know manifestations? So say if you got a woman's voice is like, she has a light voice. If you have a woman and that woman sounds like a man, right? That's a manifestation. I'm gonna say this again. If you have a woman's voice is like low pitch, right? If she's speaking like this, if she's speaking like that, that's possession. That's a spirit. And that's what I heard, bro. I heard that, right? So there's spirits getting cast out through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Sham Yahawashi. Then I heard screaming like 20 for about 15 minutes after, right? Oh, well, it's good because it shows you this word is effective. It's effective. Hmm. It's effective. Okay. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, raising the dead. Lazarus, he was raised through who? Yahawashi. We can go to that. Cast out demons. Cast out. So we're able to cast out demons. But that's through prayer and fasting and through authority, through faith. You're able to do that. Don't be scared when you see these things. Yeah, the demons, they try to scare you. They try to scare you. If they can't scare you, guess what they do? They leave or they stay down. But at first, they try to scare you. If they can't, they stay down. This is spiritual. Because you have, through Yahawashi, we have authority over them. That they just don't want you to know your authority over them. That's why you hear the screams, shouting. I never once, right, speaking with a brother, and this man walked past and he said, get out! Get out! That's a manifestation. But that demon don't want you there. These are manifestations, man. See what else we got. Hmm? So when it was saying raise the dead, let's go to example of Yahawashi. Check this out. But whom he raised from the dead. Hey, this is John 12, and we got John 11 as well. John 11, right? And mm, here it is. This is John 11. Actually, John 10 and 12. John 10 and 9. Yahushua answered, are there not 12 hours in a day? If anyone walks in a day, he does not stumble, because he sees the light of this world. But he who walks in the night, he stumbles, because the light is not in him. So even the Pharisees, they were children of darkness, and they could not see Yahushua because they were children of darkness. They were not children of the day, right? They were walking in darkness. That's why Yahushua also said, this is your hour of darkness. These things he said, and after that he said to them, "Oh friend, Lazarus sleeps, but I go that I may wake him up." Lazarus was just sleeping. When his disciples said, "Lord, if he sleeps, he will get well." However, Yahushua spoke of his death, but they thought he was speaking about taking rest and sleep. Then Yahushua said to them plainly, "Lazarus is dead, and I am glad for your sakes that I was not there, that you may believe. Nevertheless, let us go to him." When Thomas, who was called the twin, said to his fellow disciples, "Let us also go, that we may die with him." So when Yahushua came, he found that he already been in the tomb 4 days. Now Bethany was near Jerusalem, about 2 miles away, and many of the Jews had joined the women around Martha and Mary to comfort them concerning their brother. Then Martha, as soon as she heard that Yahushua was coming, went and met him, but Mary was sitting in the house. Now Martha said to Yahushua, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would have not died. But even now I know that whatever you ask of God, God will give you." Yahushua said to her, "Your brother will rise again." Martha said to him, "I know that he will rise again in the last resurrection at the last day." Yahushua said to her, "I am the resurrection and the life, and he who believes in me, though may die, he shall live, and whoever lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this?" She said to him, "Yes, Lord, I believe you are Mashiach, Son of God, who is come into the world." When she had said these things, she went her way and secretly called Mary, her sister, saying, "The teacher has come and is calling for you." So hold on a minute. Where was the tomb? And it says, therefore, when Yahushua saw her weeping, and the Jews who came in her weeping, he groaned in spirit and was troubled. And he said, "Where have you laid him?" They said to him, "Lord, come and see." Yahushua wept. When the Jews said, "See how he loved him," some of them said, "Could not this man who opened the eyes of the blind also have kept this man from dying?" When Yahushua, again groaning in himself, came to the tomb, it was a cave, and a stone was laid against it. Yahushua said, "Take away the stone." Martha, the sister of him who was dead, said to him, "Lord, by this time there is a stench, for he had been dead 4 days." Yahushua said to her, "Did I not say to you that if you would believe, you would see the glory of God?" When they took away the stone from the place where the dead man was lying, and Yahushua lifted up his eyes and said, "Father, I thank you that you have heard me, and I know you always hear me. But because of the people who are standing by, I said this, that they may believe that you sent me." Now when he had said these things, he cried with a loud voice, "Lazarus, come forth." And he who had died came out, bound hand and foot with grave clothes. His face was wrapped with a cloth. Yeshua said to him, "Loose him and let him go." So what was shown there? Hmm? A miracle of raising the dead. And Yahushua wasn't the only one in the scriptures that raised a person back to life. Elijah also done that as well. With the widow, I forgot where it was. He raised a widow son from the dead. Remember, he what stretched over him, right? I think it was the basement stretched over him, and basically, I forgot what he said, but he brought life back into that child. So when you read the scriptures, you have it where there was men, and they had a great level of spiritual authority and power through the faith that they showed towards Yahushua. Yeah, this is all about the faith we have towards Yahushua. With faith, that's how you're able to do these miracles through belief. That's the only way. Or then no miracles really gonna be done if there's not faith behind it. So there has to be faith mixed in, right? There has to be faith mixed in with this. Okay, faith as well. We have to mix those things. That's the main ingredient, right? The main. Let me check the time. I don't want to stay out too long because I know a lot of these people are getting fed up. They just want to go home. I didn't tell you that. That's power as well. A lot of these people they're here, they want to go home, but they can't because if I'm here, they have to stay out here. If they do have to go home, they will call someone else to keep an eye on me. So basically, they're fed up because they got to follow me around. So if they're following you around because they have to, because they've been told to, right? Because you're a danger, you're a threat, because you have something that's powerful and special, then who's controlling who? Who's controlling who? Hmm? You're controlling them. What they want me to do is just hurry up and get out of this forest, so they can just go back home and do what they're doing. So another thing that this is perception. Another thing that's being taught is you got to realize is anytime you go out, if they have to go out, even if they don't want to, what's that showing people? That's showing people that you're not lazy. You're flipping. See the perception. Say every time you go out and they have to go out at the same time, you're a standard for them. You're a standard for them. This is making sense. They may not even want to go out. They may not even want to go out. But when you go out, they have to go out. So say if you're doing that constantly, they're gonna be, oh my gosh, like, bro, don't he just stop? Like, people are getting fed up, literally getting fed up. So you make a lot of these people look incompetent. You make these people look lazy. Because anytime you move like that ludicrous song, they have to move as well. So you can't be useless. You can't be lazy. So you're like a standard to these people now. You put these people to work. If you wasn't here, what would they do? What would they do? Because they are useless. They are useless. They are useless. So just change your perspective of everything as well and how you're seeing certain things. Yeah, they want to gaslight you out of your blessings, man. But that's the devil. Are you sure? Genesis, right? God said you shall not eat of the fruit of the tree in the midst of the garden. Then the devil, what did he say? The serpent. Did he say that you should not eat of the fruit of the garden? Are you sure? That's gaslighting. Trying to put that second thought in your head. So when people gaslight you, why? Because they want what you're saying, they don't want it to be there. Basically, what they're trying to tell you or fit into your mind is everything you're seeing is a lie. Everything you're saying is a lie. That's why they do that. That's why they do that. But you can't do that. You can't twist the truth. Because the truth is the truth. You want to live some lie. When brothers come out here, you have to come out here. They get pissed off. That's why when the woman was walking out here with her doggy, I could see she was getting annoyed when she was making them silly noises. Because she didn't want to come out here. You got to understand. They're controlled by, yeah, a handler, and your handler obviously worships Satan. So, yeah, they're handled. They're told when to come out. They're not free. They're not living freely. I wouldn't be surprised if these people get told when to go to bed. When to go to bed. They're not living freely. That's why the best person to serve, you cannot serve two masters. You will hate one and you will love the other. It's best to serve the Lord. As for me and my house, we gonna serve the Lord. Because the people, even today, they do that stuff where they try to get you jealous with teaching today. And they had a couple and they were blatantly, they tried to get you, they're kissing in front of me. And it's like, why do you got to do that? You got your woman. Why don't you just go take her to a restaurant? So they try to do things to get you jealous as well. So say if they know you don't have a woman on them, they try to do just to get you jealous. Like, bro, these people are sad, bro. And that probably wasn't even his real girlfriend. That probably got given to him. Because remember, the gang stalking thing is all fake. Most of it is all fake. That young woman probably got given to him because he sold his soul. Because they do it. They match you with women. They match you with, yeah, if you sell your soul, of course they do that. Oh, you sold your soul. What type of woman do you like? They just match you with that woman. It's not that you. There's not even any real love there. That's what happens when you sell your soul. Oh, you sell your soul. Uh, you like gardening. You sell your soul. I'll run a gardening business. I'll pay for it for you, and you can have your own gardening business now. It's a fluke. They're not working hard. Oh, you sold your soul. You're gonna get free rent as long as you step on somebody else's shoes and you do what I say and you put on red tomorrow. Put on a red jumper and stand outside that store. And when he comes, make sure you get his attention. Come on, come on. You're gonna have to answer for that when the local. You're gonna have to answer for those things. Yeah. All you have to do is just walk a dog. We're gonna give you a dog. We're gonna go out to work and we're gonna give you the dog and you're gonna walk the dog and you're gonna pretend that you're busy and you're gonna spy on this man when he comes into the park. This one that's free. And you're gonna walk your dog and you're gonna act like you're busy and you're gonna look around. Oh, that's listen. This place is it's done, man. You're done, man. You're finished. You should have just stopped while you could have. You should have just stopped, but you didn't want to. Now look what you got yourself into. You got yourself into a rat palaver. Should have just stopped while you could. Mm. But they want you to stop because when you're bringing out the truth, that's annoying. That's annoying them. That's exposing them. So they want you to give up because you're a thorn in their side. Let me check the time. We're gonna shut off soon. We gonna shut off soon. Mm. Doing deals with the devil basically. And now he's jumping. Now he's jumping in and out of your vessel. Now, yeah, he's jumping in and out of your vessel. Just like when I first got here, and that woman started to make that sound, whatever sound that was. It was like a growling. It was like a growling sound. Something that you would hear in Freemasonry because they do that, right? The it was something like that. But hey, I'm telling you, when that veil gets removed in Corinthians, when that veil gets removed, you're gonna see some things. You're gonna see you're gonna see the demons just shape shift, well, so-called shape shifting, so people call it, right? They call it shape shifting. I say jumping into different vessels and different bodies, but it's the same spirit. It's the same spirit in a different body. You ever watch that movie Fallen? When an unclean spirit goes out of a man, he looketh in dry places, seeking to find a place, and he finds none, and he finds it empty and sweats. And he taketh to him seven other spirits more worse than himself. That's why you want to be teaching as much as possible and sincere. Because once that one brings his buddies, it brings them buddies, then you'd never be the same again. And it goes into desolate places. Desolate. So them same spirits, you'll find them in the woods as well. You'll find them same spirits in the woods. Because they go in desolate places. You'll find them in abandoned buildings as well. And you'll find them around dustbins. Because it's an unclean spirit. Right? That's where you'll find them. Right? And in deserts as well. Where was Yahawashi tempted of the devil? In a desert, in the wilderness. Desolate places. They call them jinns. Right? So yeah, now them demons are just body. It seems to be the same spirit that's talking to you through different people, right? Like that movie, The Fallen, Denzel Washington, right? Brilliant movie. And anywhere Denzel would go, right? Who's that? And anywhere, yeah, bringing out the truth now. And anywhere Denzel would go, Baba Kishar, anyone Denzel would go, this same spirit would speak to him through different people. Anytime they would brush past each other, that spirit would body hack that person to speak or to mess with Denzel Washington. Then you realize when you actually look into that film, that was all like a cultic. type knowledge. Yo, that was all occultic type knowledge, man. All of it, right? Occultic knowledge. They were messing with Denzel, who's known as Azazel, right? And you saw it, right? When that spirit was jumping in different people, that man in the office, right? The report of CIA office. He said, well, Denzel, I want to know, well, so, what you been up to and so forth. Just asking. Then what did he say after that? He got in his face, right in his face, and said, time is on our side. Yes, it is. That was spiritual warfare, psychological warfare in that movie, The Fallen. Then that spirit jumped into someone else. That man, right, that officer, and then Denzel said he was singing a song, right? Time is on our side. Then Denzel went to him and said, "Oh, who put you up to this? Who put you up to this?" And he said, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about." Then that spirit jumped into somebody else. Then they left the door, an old man and an old woman. They looked Jewish as well. And they walked out and they were looking angry. They were looking at Denzel angry. Then Denzel quoted something in Aramaic to the woman. And the woman said, "Oh, you know Aramaic now." Then I forgot what Denzel said. And the woman said, well, some things you just, if you know, you just shouldn't tell. So they were angry that Denzel obviously knew something, right? And he was investigating it. So them spirits were messing with him. And that was known as Azazel. When you look at Azazel in the scriptures, Azazel would be a scapegoat. So they were scapegoating Denzel Washington. Your gang stalking is a form of. There's a lot of things. It's very dark. It's ritual abuse, is scapegoating. Azazel goes back to the goats in the woods. So Denzel was getting all them evil looks. People are brushing past him. You see that scene? That was a cult. That's a cult. That's what you call Freemasonry and occultic knowledge. And you see the same thing with gang stalkers. You see them looking at each other. They recognize each other because Satan recognizes the demons. Recognize demons, right? They might do the sniffing, the rubbing their heads, itching, and when they do that, when they do the yawning, that's low vibrational. Basically, they're saying boring. The yawning, they're gonna do the tying of the shoelaces, right? They're gonna have the hand in the thing, Freemasonry gestures, hand behind the back, coughing. They're gonna rub the nose. They're gonna rub between the eyes. They're gonna if it's a hat, the hat. If they got a hat, they do this with the hat, right? Sometimes they do this with the hat, and they go like this. They might put the hat to the side, or they might go like this with the hat. They got different gestures, right? Sometimes they go like this as well. They go. "Mm." Sometimes if they're driving, sometimes when they're driving, they go like this when they're driving. Bro, this is spirits. They code. They can code to each other just by looking at each other. They know what each other's thinking. It's kind of It's kind of telepathic. This is like telepathic, occultic, Freemasonry type knowledge. So they just need to signal each other. Sometimes they have a person stepping out there, woman. Sometimes with women, I told you, they flip their hair back. Because also you're gonna attract a lot of women as well. Women they're gonna be very randy because your testosterone is up now, and you're gonna attract women as well. Some of them are honeypots, so don't trust all of them. You're gonna see the whole thing now. Why? Because the veil's been removed. As Yahawashi said, the veil's been removed now. You're gonna see a lot of things now. You're gonna see people stepping out at certain times, clocking you synchronization. You're gonna see women bending over. They're gonna intentionally bend over. I was in the antique shop speaking to a lady about antiques, like, because I'm interested in antiques and I got an eye for good stuff. And this woman that came into the shop, while she was looking, she was bending. She put her head. literally where my crutch is. So they would do randy stuff. They start bending over in front of you, doing all types of stuff. You, all type you're gonna see all type. What else? What else? What else? Before you get to the store, they have the store. Sometimes they have the store manager outside before you already got there. So the store manager just been rang up and said, "Yep, just step outside. Just step outside, right? If there's a group of people in the pub, mate, four of them may be told, come out here with your drinks and pretend you're having a conversation, right? With the cars, the car thing now, that's extreme. They will have cars going up, left, right, back. That's when they're doing that, this is occultic knowledge. They're trying to open portals. Let me say that again. You're gonna have a car. Say the cars are driving here. A car straight, left, and right. They're trying to open up portals upon you. See, this is ancient knowledge. Remember, car straight forward, left turn if they can, right turn, pulling all different same time, trying to open up them portals upon brothers, man. That's what you call also what do you call that? What do you call that? What do you call that? This is that's they're using them old ancient principles. I told you a lot of these people are Satanists, man. That's geometry, geometry, them old principles, right? So these are tactics of the enemy, right? Abakasha, old tactics, right? Oh yeah, don't forget the joggers as well, right? They got the jogger, one jogger I just see here. The jogging. Some of you brothers may get two joggers that jog past you. Me, sometimes I've had it where it's 20, 30. That's to harness your energy. So they jog to harness energy and to remember we have an EMF, you have a wave, you have an energy to basically knock your energy. This is old knowledge. Whoever's teaching them these things, they've been taught these things. But the knowledge of wickedness is not true knowledge, it's not true wisdom. You want to get the knowledge of the scriptures. So the joggers, the jogging, there's an energy aspect to it, but you have an aura, so they're trying to knock your aura field. Where you think you get the bikes? You're going to see bicycles. Sometimes they're going to be bright lighting. They're going to have the bright light on as well to try to throw you off. Sometimes you're going to see a vehicle parked up, one headlight on, which represents the all seeing eye. Sometimes you might see someone, even with the children. Sometimes they're going to have the child. They're going to have the child sit up there running, that little child running, and the father's going to be behind. If that is the father, a lot of the time it's not the father. That child, a lot of the times, care home or being adopted or being trafficked or whatever. You're going to see different things now. Why? Because the veil's been removed, as it says in Corinthians now. Go and see some strange stuff, and you're not mad. It's called an awakening. It's an awakening. You go see some stuff, some real strange stuff. Sometimes I've even witnessed the one where, say, if you have students or whatever, sometimes if they know you're watching them, they're going to be walking like this sometimes, like slow, like they're like this. So it's like it's like they know you can see. Hold on just a minute. It's like they know you can see them. You know what I'm saying? They would have to know. They would have to know you can see them. So I've had it where they walk slow. They probably try to walk slow, like, wow. You're gonna see a lot of things. A lot of things, Baba Kishore. Where they do that slow walking to try to change your what's it your paradigm. Where they walk slow and then sometimes they walk fast. You be going somewhere and you see the gangster looking at his handler. He's looking at the handler and he's walking fast. Yeah, quickly get ahead of him. You could be in a store and soon as you're in the store, not even a minute, within a minute, you're gonna have like 8 people go into that store. And it's so cheesy. You know how it's cheesy because a lot of the times they've got a headphone in, they don't know what they're looking for. So you're going into a store, you don't even know what you're looking for. I've had it where someone just walks into a store, they don't even know what they're looking for. They pick up the nearest thing and they just put it on the table. And they just put it on the table. Hey, the jig is up. The jig is up now, man. I've seen this. You see them, man. When they look around the store. They get in the store, and they're like this, and they just pick up anything, and they just put it on the table, mother shut. But sometimes it's unbeknownst to a store owner, so it's not every store owner. Sometimes the store owner's looking like, what's going on here? I'm not. Listen, you're gonna gain experience by this. You're gonna gain a lot of experience. Excuse me, just a minute. Putting you up on game. Try not to have a bad mind about all these things you see as well. Sometimes laugh about these things. Sometimes just laugh. Don't get all angry. Laugh about some of these things because you see it. When you go to your house, they're going to switch cars up as well because sometimes they have neighbors watching you. So they switch cars. One car will be in, another car will be out. One car will be in, another car will be out. So they take certain people also take turns to watch you as well. What else do you want to know? Let's go to this Bible show. Ephesians. I'm in a wooded area right now, and you have people that they're positioned there. I'm in a wooded area out the way. And you have people that are positioned there. See what else we got. And you know what? This is a reflection. Guess who it does reflect? It reflects your government. All this behavior reflects your government. For so are the rulers, so will the people be. It tells you that in the Apocrypha. If people are acting like that, you got to look at the people that are ruling this country. Because I even see politicians doing it. When I was looking at the House of Commons, they were doing the same gestures. They were rubbing their nose, scratching their heads. Sometimes they even do the coughing. And they would try to curse you secretly as well. They tried to mutter things under their breath. Let's see what else we got. Putting you on game, whatever you want to. If you got any questions concerning gang stalking, you could be free to come to my page and I'll give you all the advice you need and how to deal with it the right way. These are spirits operating through people, right? Sometimes you could be going somewhere, you see someone right walking right, and while they're walking like this, angry, and they're looking at you, giving you a side eye by the side of their eye. That's called the evil eye, right? The evil eye. These are all spirits. Yeah, they're walking like this. They're giving you some evil eye. Then you're gonna hear people in the distance saying, "Move on, move on." That's them narcissistic demons. Now you're gonna have the narcissistic demons, and they're gonna have flying monkeys as well, and they're gonna be the ones that have the full sense of power. So you're gonna get narcissists. You're gonna see a lot of narcissists as well, and these people they're gonna try to position themselves and they're going to try to time your routines because these are the people they need you in a negative cycle. This is all spiritual warfare. Ephesians 6 and 11 and 12. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities in higher places. The spirit that's controlling the narcissist is Jezebel. What does Jezebel do? Tries to manipulate and control and murder. So if you're around too much narcissists, you better break that little spell because they do spell work as well. Remember, they're delusional. It's all spiritual. It's all spiritual. You're gonna have the low key demon. Low key demons known for mischief. Mischief. So you're gonna have mischievous spirits as well. You're gonna have mischievous spirits as well. Sneaky, mischievous spirits. It's all spiritual. It's all spiritual. Let's get this. Proverbs 11 and 20 and to 10 and 23. To do evil is like a sport to a fool, but a man of understanding has wisdom. So it's like a sport for these people to do it. It's become a sport now. They got their little headphones with these white headphones. They're given information. They're told what to do. It's like a sensor on their ear, the back of their ear, and it tells them what to do. They're getting instructions through these headphones, man. Yeah, turn left, walk straight, go up that road. So these people, they're kind of like informants. They're kind of ever since the COVID, this stuff started happening. When the COVID hit, this is when this type of stuff started happening. Why? Because most people couldn't go out during that time. So if they couldn't go out, they definitely couldn't gang stalk. So what did they do? They were doing this thing electronically because you couldn't be and you couldn't gang stalk when the COVID was on. Why? Because you couldn't even have three people next to each other. So what were they doing? They turned it to technology now. Excuse me. Just letting you know. The fear of the wicked will come upon him, and the desire of the righteous will be granted. When the whirlwind passeth by, the wicked is no more, but the righteous has an everlasting foundation. It says it, the righteous has an everlasting foundation. So you're probably saying, why must be I'm speaking about these things to let you know you're gonna see the same tactics. You're gonna see the and guess what? They will also do humiliation, try to do humiliation rituals. Right? And the humiliation, wow. Oh yeah. Should we just hold on before we go into that? Before we go into that, the birds. You, this is very upsetting for me. The birds. Some of these birds are real. Some of them are not real. A lot of these birds are cloned as well. Yeah, they can clone birds. Yeah, they can. Early on, early on with this, early on with this program, I noticed that they can clone birds as well. You know how they MK Ultra people? They can do that with birds. I've seen other videos as well where the birds will try to speak to you as well. And I've had birds mocking me. I've actually had certain birds mocking me. I've had birds calling me useless. Birds. I've heard birds saying, "You useless," and I've had birds laughing at me. Why? Because they can also hack into the animals. So a lot of the animals, they're also hijacked as well. This is an artificial kingdom now. They're hijacking the birds. Oh, this is why this man has to pay. This is why he has to pay, man. Right? Yeah, a lot of this is being done by supercomputers. Yeah, supercomputers, where they're creating a grid system, and certain people are getting tortured by this technology. It's a grid system. These are people behind a supercomputer. Mm? Real talk. Real talk. So the humiliation ritual, they're gonna try that as well. And if nothing else works, they try humiliation ritual. And that's when everybody gets together within that community. They come out. Say if you're at a bus stop, everybody at that bus stop, sometimes they be looking at you. All of them would just be staring at you. All of them just stare at you, right? Sometimes they do that, and sometimes they'll all just be in their phone and they give you a funny look. That's humiliation rituals. So they try, but it doesn't work on the elect because they know who they are. So these are just tactics I'm showing you, right? Tactics. Oh, sometimes they be speaking as well. They be having conversations, and the conversation will be pertaining to you. but they'll be mentioning certain things, but it's pertaining to you. That's all that witchcraft. They do that to try and get into your head and so forth. Okay, what else do they do? Dude, look how these birds. Look how these birds are acting. See what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm telling you, the birds as well, bro. They have them under mind control as well. So you're gonna witness these things as well. What else? What's another tactic? The tactic is they do a lot of things, but it's not good that I talk about it because if brothers are powerful, remember the thoughts are everything. We don't want to manifest this stuff more than it's already manifested because what we speak about becomes a manifestation. What we think about, so try not to think about it, but it's there. It's there. But don't think about it too much. Okay. Yeah, they're watching you. Mm. Yeah, they're trying to gather as much information as possible. Oh, and the planes as well. Yep. Oh, the planes are involved. Right? Right? All done by supercomputers, whether you want to believe it or not. But I don't really get into all that stuff too much because I know we want to keep it scriptural. A lot of you have been sold, you could have been sold, or I don't know, to a network or whatever. But this is real stuff that's going on. You're not seeing things, right? And if you are seeing things, you're seeing what the Lord's showing you. Traffic. Sometimes have you ever just you've gone somewhere and all of a sudden there be so much traffic? Like bro, like 200, 300 cars already there. And they're all just watching you, looking at the window, watching you. Some crazy stuff you're gonna see. Crazy stuff. Oh yeah, sometimes when these people cross the road, they'll be crossing like this as well. Hold on, my body's here. They will cross like this. They cross the road this way because they're trying to create triangles and hexes and yeah, witchcraft. This is real, bro. But through the Lord Yahawashi, we conquer. We can do all things. Why? Because the Lord's given us the spirit to be able to do that. Let me check the time. Okay, 4 o'clock now. So I'm gonna shut off. I hope this was edifying. And I want to give all honors and praises to Yahweh by Sham Yahawashi, Bahasham Mahavakar Kwadash. And it's beautiful. Guess what? You got a woodpecker right there. Until the next time, Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.